Welcome back to some Hunter x Hunter. The ants themselves split off into so many groups, splintered as they are. Some of them actually seeking aid from the ones that have been hunting themselves. The human hunters coming in, wiping out so many squadrons. But now for the Queen in dire need of medical attention. Yeah, you can see why they've outstretched a hand to their enemies so far. The king, however, couldn't give less of a shit. And so, really, are the two sides going to come together? What's going to happen now that Knuckle and Shooter are off into the NGL? Is Gon going to be held back and heartbroken for much longer, considering, well, a whole 30 days with no Nen? Is Killua going to still stand by his side, or going to claim to be not worthy? So many questions. I guess let's just delve into it. Gon reflecting on the missed opportunity here, how he wasn't able to rise to the occasion for once. You see how they both kind of rely on each other. Killua now making the decision to stay away from Gon once the 30 days are up. Whether or not Gon would actually abide by that rationale and thinking how he needs to kind of separate himself off. But coming up against a wall that is so unassailable. They were doing this just to get back in, try and rescue Kite, but how's it going to be now? Is it actually for the best that they're on the outside? And considering most of the commanders and whatnot are not really fighting for the Hive anymore, they're out doing their own thing. Or at least starting to build their own thing. Did you ever shave? Now they're into diplomacy, trying to figure things out. It is imperative that they kind of figure this out quickly. Whether or not the Queen can keep birthing new ones, now that they're not being so hostile, being able to get in and research, quite useful. 4 hours. Is this symbolic, or did he just want a haircut? They had time to go all the way back to the... Is that his fighting attire? A lucky outfit. Okay, only when he really means to. Right, okay. It's so bright. Where does he stand in comparison? If he was already judging himself against Neferpitou, you would lose. That's where we stand. No wonder he needs to put on his lucky t-shirt. He is finding this exciting. I mean, well, he's got his own thing to do. Is he bringing in some extra backup? Or just going off to get, I don't know, his lucky shoes as well? I mean, it is nothing important. I wonder how Knuckle would take it if he actually... if they had a bet on thinking that they would actually be the ones to win and go through. Ah, Koala. Haven't seen him in a while. Right now, the biology is slightly different to what they're really used to. But also, there's so much... True, it would be kind of impressive if you could just have transfusions and organ transplants work successfully. Now let's see what modern medicine can do. I did see the artificial organs they'll be kind of attaching there for whatever's been crushed and obviously completely screwed up. It is out of his hands now. He's done quite well to bring in help and call in a truce, as it were. I think right now her thoughts are elsewhere. I don't think really anything's going to help in the surgery. Could be wrong. Several things, but the defects-wise, I'm unsure. Just lie to her to keep her mind at ease. Sees nothing in the hive as valuable. For now, but it really depends on what safe means, considering he's got like the chairman and whatnot on his ass. Journey. Not the... Not that he was going to give a shit about the Queen at all anyway, but... if he had held on and not been born prematurely, what could have happened there? I'm guessing the slow pan to the light means that she can go with peace of mind that she'd actually achieve what she set out to obtain, etc. I really did not think that you'd have the Queen and the Chimera Ant having surgery by humans to save its life after everything we've seen and the build-up of the Chimera Ant arc. Any parts possible, just chop bits off, graft them on, might work. The surgeon is doing what they can right now. A name for the king? Well, we hadn't... Yep, don't think we've had one so far. Meriem. I'm sure they will have a proper sit down and deliver the last words. That will mean a lot. Surgery went well. So how much are they charging? I'm really not surprised that Knuckle is trying so hard to hold himself together. And how much does that... almost exactly what I was going to ask. Influence their current behaviours and actions? What now? What, seeing something else amongst the organs? Something that the surgeon missed? I hope he washed his hands. Ah. There was more yet to come. If the king was premature, then what the hell is that? After losing the reason for their being in losing the queen, there you go. Impart everything of them into something else here. Offering him a smoke? If they can find alternative food sources and the like, then they can be allies and somewhat work together. Does he? Yeah, he might need to wipe. The scene got to him, did it? At least there's some good that came out of all the darkness of this arc. With the rest of the Chimera Ants was what happened in the early stages of their hive being created. Also, he's gone. I was waiting for the bubblegum pop, but it never happened. He's gone. I was going to say continuously feeling sorry for himself or feeling slightly travel sick, but nope. He's got better things to think about. Just focus your energies elsewhere. Keep. Just keep going. Don't give up just yet. If he had some hopes for them beforehand, how would he feel now if he saw them? Just get stronger. 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and 10-kilometer run every day. Fair. There are those that go into the hunter business for money. And if you can find out as to why, you have your name in the books, maybe get a bit of grant money and the like. She bought the area. Willing to help those of a dream. We could all be so lucky. And has she come any closer as to finding out as to why they're only inhabiting that one area? Kite being such a monumental figure in not just a couple of characters, but how many has he helped along the way? Those that keep following him, like these ones, or those that he's just met coincidentally. like the chance encounter on Whale Island and punching Gon because he was walking into the forests. But also after this nice bit about Kite and reminiscing, it shifts back to the hive. What is this soundtrack? And the uneasy pitter-pattering. I see now. I see Neferptah has left behind a little pet. And had a bite on the way past. I guess the open plains is probably the best for the cheetah. They aren't in on the deal with morale. No eating humans. So, oh, had a big meal. Spreading out, finding their own places, kings of their own ideal environments. Well, they have kind of obliterated most of the ecosystems in the NGL, so got to repopulate it somehow. What an odd thing, really, just out in the middle of nowhere. Sure, it looks nice and pretty, but there's not much else to it. Where's the groundskeeper's shed for keeping that lawn looking so spotless? The king descending now onto a place which might actually be befitting of someone of that title. The other members of the Chimera Ants out searching for their own little slice of land. And then the ones that stayed behind focusing their entire beings on a new reason to live. And completely unlike any of the Chimera Ants that we've seen, there wasn't like a segmented joints insectness to that new life that was found in the Queen. So what is going on? Unless I just wasn't looking properly. That's a possibility. There is a lot to go through in my mind with all of this. The Chimera Ant arc can be pulled apart and somewhat try and digest it, but from where we began thinking, oh, we've got the Chimera Ants out there farming and eating people. And then there's internal strife, the king splitting off the entire hive itself into several segments. That's not even to say that the royal garden alike was stronger than Kite and the hunters, and the chairman himself. But seeing that entire operation was somewhat surreal, having surgeons operate on the Queen, give them artificial organs to extend the lifespan, bleeding out on the floor and everything. That's some pretty good, quick thinking, considering, well, as we were told, the differences between the various generations of Chimera ants, the entire biology of them being so somewhat unique. The fact they're able to even kind of start the operation there and have somewhat of a success, even if it overall didn't quite work out. Well, that says quite a lot about the skills in those surgeons' hands themselves, but if it actually succeeded, I think would be worse off, because the Queen would still be doting over the king, who would have no interest whatsoever. In fact, considering that it just ripped its way out of the birth sac and cared nothing at all, wouldn't be surprised if the king had just murdered the Queen if she had been saved. Just in this way, we've got those that stayed loyal to the hive, at least having a second chance at somewhat normal life. The humans that they once were, we were told, oh, well, they've got some memories of it. Exactly how much and what's held in important to them, still quite to be seen. And if the chairman is only strong enough to possibly go up against one of the royal guardians, what is going to happen? I don't think the king is easily going to be bargained with, sit down for a nice conversation and the like, so something's really got to wheedle in there and go a bit under the radar, maybe? But of course, with Gon picking his head up off the floor, seeing that his future isn't all gloom, there's still room for improvement, as long as he keeps training, keeps going hard. Remember, right now, it's not just about this battle in front of him that she managed to hit hard times on, but overall, we're here to try and find his father. How's his dad going to look back on this experience and think if he just gives up? So it's good to see him trying to continue on. Wonder what the next episode will actually bring to us. Luckily, we don't have to wait too long for that. If you've enjoyed this one, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what you think. Maybe even join onto the channel so you don't want to miss out. But right now, grab yourself a drink, because we're continuing on. See you in the next one. If you want to be part of the uneasy alliance that keeps my channel going, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to the likes of Noku, Raywin, Sal, Arthea, Shiwan, Mats, Acne, Guado, Danny Sweet, Croyville, Kite, Diego Zenhausen, Ranka, the Kebab Seller, Tori Jane and everyone else, the surgery that is my time on the internet is going pretty well, and honestly, I couldn't thank you enough.